I'm Linda.
What are we doing, Linda?
We're going to Seafield. We're going to present a quilt, Living Through Loss. Brought it up with them. We made it last year at a retreat. Living Through Loss invites the Beading Hearts every year to a retreat that they do. They're a wonderful organization out of Maryland that serves the grieving community, especially in addiction and overdose.
So what are we doing here at Seafield?
So this quilt that we made last year at the retreat, we are presenting it, and each one of us is going to share our story of what that piece of the quilt means to us.
All right, let's go do it.
A little piece of our kid. Come on, let's go. For the past, how many? 5, 6, 7 years, we've been going down to Maryland once a year to be with people who welcome us, for people who understand our hearts. And last year, as part of an art project, Whitney, the cute little blonde there, asked us to do a quilt, a little square of a quilt. And this quilt that you see in front of you is traveling around. It's making its rounds to show people, to raise awareness of what's going on and who is left behind. We get to speak, we get to share our stories, we get to share our children's stories, and we get to do these meaningful projects as well. So we want to share our hearts out to you today. And I don't know if you can understand fully, and I hope you do, that we would only want to be here right now with you. With you. Absolutely. Jamie?
Today, and Linda and I connected, as she said, and the Beating Hearts started to come down regularly to be with us. So this is the first time we've come up here. I just drove a 15-passenger van up here for Maryland. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Pretty proud of myself. I am a therapist also in working at Brooks House, which is a place similar to this. It's a residential treatment center for women in Maryland. It's run by Kevin Simmers, whose daughter, he was a narcotics cop in Hagerstown, Maryland, and then his daughter died by overdose. So he left the department and he started Brooks House because it was a promise that he made to Brooke. And so pretty exciting. You guys are probably going to see pretty soon. A movie was just made about Kevin Simmers and about Brooks House. Zach Braff plays Kevin in the movie, so it's like a big Hollywood production. And it will be coming to a treatment center near you soon. So I'm going to make sure that it makes its way up to you all so that you can see it. It's a really powerful story. So we were happy to drive up today. As Linda said, there are 8 of us that came up. We started this quilt, and each square is a symbol and represents someone that someone here has lost. I have brochures that Whitney and her artist friends have made up, and so you can see, I'm going to pass these out. Yeah, if you don't mind, will you pass them out? You can see, like, there's a guide, there's a little grid that represents each square, and then on the inside, each parent talked a little bit about their square, so you can get the stories inside, and I think we have enough. We're so excited to see. I'm sorry that you all have to be here, but it means a lot for us to come and see a lot of you here getting the help that you need. I hope that you're finding your way through this. We're here because we believe in you. We don't believe in stigma. We don't believe in shame. We just believe in healing and growing, recognizing any of us could be sitting on either side today. So we're just really happy to be here with you. And I already appreciate all of your welcoming, warm faces, because I get nervous when I stand up here, and to look out at you all just like looking at me with warmth really makes me feel better. So thank you for that. And so what I'd like to do is go back to Linda, and then you can.
How we.
Good question. So almost everyone up here has a square. So maybe can we work our way down? And if you don't have a square.
No square. Yes, square.
But if everybody wants to share, I mean, however you want to do it, Linda. Now, I'm on your turf. So.
Okay. Okay. I know you want to hear from everybody. So each person is going to keep it brief, but it's really worthwhile to hear and meet them and meet their angel. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead. This is Karen.
So I've been going to Living for Law since we were invited by Jeannie a couple of years ago. It's been a wonderful trip for me to go on once a year, weekend retreat since I lost my daughter almost, it'll be 9 years this year. She was, an addict, but she was more than that. She was my daughter. She was a mom. She was a sister. And she had a lot of purpose in life. And I go around speaking her name and talking about her because I want people to remember her for who she is, not who they saw her as when she was in active addiction, because she was a lot more than that. And I just have a simple message that you're worthy, and your life matters. I was watching the news the other day and I saw that Jesse Jackson had passed away. And he would say something every time he would speak. At the end of every speech and every talking event that he had, he would say, "I am somebody." And he would have everybody repeat it back. And that's what I want you to know. You are somebody. Yeah. I am somebody. And you have to remember that. It might not be the person that you thought your life was going to turn out to be. It might be something totally different, but you are somebody, and somebody out there cares about you, and that's what you have to remember, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you are important. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Melissa. Hi. This is my daughter Rachel. Rachel was 23 when she passed away. Rachel suffered from addiction. Addiction's not a choice. Nobody wakes up and wants to be an addict. Unfortunately, she was given a bag of fentanyl when she thought she was going to be given drugs, and she died instantly. And it changed who I am and who everybody is when we lose our child. I'm going to keep it brief. I love to come here. I appreciate every time I come here. You guys are wonderful to me. You're wonderful to my daughter. You remember her name, and I just want to tell you how much I appreciate that. It really helps in my recovery trying to get through this as a parent without a child. So I know none of you picked this. Like I said, it's not, but recovery is a choice. So please make the choice to recover. My daughter was in Seafield. She sat right back there, those seats you were sitting at, and she is not able to be here. But you are, and you are in those seats. So please take the opportunity. This place did get her better. It did help her. She was introduced to counseling. She was able to work through a lot of the issues that caused her the feelings of shame and alone and the things that hurt her that she wanted to make feel better with drugs. So please take advantage of it while you're here. And I just want to also let you know really quickly that I heard of something very cool the other day, that hiring somebody that's been through addiction or substance abuse is a great thing to do, because you guys are all able to work through issues and problems and not fall apart. You could commit to things and you could see it through. So just like she said, you are worthy. You're definitely, I wish you the best of luck, and we love you guys. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Mary Ellen. This is my quilt patch. It says, "Hope is the thing with feathers." And it's a picture of a bird. And I have 3 names on there: Poppy, Nanny, and JJ. My son Jason passed away in May of 2022. He also was here at Seafield. He also was at Hope House. During that time, our family, he struggled for 10 years before he passed. But during the last 5 years of his life, we had such quality time with him. Thankful for Seafield as well as Hope House with Father Frank. He also passed of fentanyl and did not want to die. After he passed, we found out that his ex-girlfriend was pregnant and had a baby after he passed. And this is him. His name is Rain. And his mom struggles as well. And I had custody of him for a year back in 23 to 24, and I just recently got custody back of him from September until, she works out all her legal situations. My purpose of coming here and speaking is because I'm able to talk about him and say his name. It's still very hard. But recently, I saw David Kessler and Regina King, the actress, who also lost a son. She said something in the interview with him that just resonated with me. Find the beauty in the bruises. And just because we're going through so much pain, we have to still look for the good. And just that you do matter. And to make sure that you give more than you take. And that you speak words of hope to people, because that's what life's all about. And that's why, one of the reasons why I did this patch, the quilt, because it was a poem from Emily Dickinson, and it just, hope never stops. And it's like a metaphor that hope is resilient and the bird is dwelling within the soul. So I just want you guys to utilize the resources that are provided to you, because you do matter. And when you do the work, there is such beauty in recovery. And your life afterwards is just wonderful, and you'll just be surrounded about the people. Like when you go to a meeting, they're willing to help you and be there for you when you need them. But thank you for letting me speak.
Hi, everybody. I wasn't planning on speaking, but my son Michael, he was 31, and he passed about under 3 years ago, April 11th. And he was also here. That's all I can tell you is I miss him every moment of every day. He was so worth it. You're so worth it. And then as I look all across the room, I see him. Thank you for having me here. Hi, I'm Jackie. Hi, this is my beautiful daughter, Lexi. She passed away July 14th, 2020, in the midst of COVID. Lex wasn't only beautiful, she had a great personality. She lit up a room when she walked in. Everybody knew Lexi, everybody that met her, she touched. She was really one of those special people. She loved animals more than people, but she struggled, and I thought it was all over. It was a couple of years of, amazing stuff, and everybody going back to work, and she couldn't do things with this baby. Oh, and I don't have a picture of him, but this is my daughter when she was a baby, well, little, and it's exactly him. So I really don't need a picture because that's what he looks like without as much hair. So I thought it was all over, and I guess everybody going back, and she was feeling really alone, and addiction runs really deep in our family. I left her father because of he took her at 18 months old to go cop drugs, and it was really scary for me. And I did drugs too at the time, honestly. Periodically I was, I liked my cocaine, and I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole right now because beyond fentanyl, there's so much other. But my daughter also thought she was doing cocaine that one day, home alone with the baby, and it wasn't. It was 90% fentanyl, and it killed her instantly. And that baby was home alone till 7 o'clock that night when her boyfriend came home. And I live with this pain. I've come a long way. It's been almost 6 years. July will be 6 years. It's really hard to still talk about. I look at all of you out there, and I try to imagine how many of you will succeed. And I'm going to tell you about my quilt. Oof. Got lost in my own. So that's what grief does to you. Just forget what you're talking about. So this is mine. Butterflies are huge for me. They show up all the time, and I think it's because they're so beautiful and catch your eye, and that was how she was. So I think that's why I always see butterflies. And she was also a singer. She has music on YouTube and performing. And so that's why the music signs. And I get hearts everywhere. Hearts, I mean, I don't know. We won't get into it, but hearts, there's always hearts. So I just, I remember making this. It was really a lot of fun. And this is what we do now for joy and all the other things that we did in life, going out, hanging out and screwing up, whatever it was. None of it means anything to me anymore. I want to stay home all the time, be with my grandson and my son. And I just want you all to know, as much as you feel like you've just fucked everything up and everybody's mad at you or whatever you've done, people forgive. And no matter what, I always tell my daughter, no matter what you do, you could kill somebody, I will always love you. So no matter what you've done, you don't ever think that people don't love you. And we don't even know you when we love you. This helps us as much as it may help one or two of you, if not all. So, but thank you for letting me share. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Sue. This is my son Dylan. He was 17. He committed suicide. He laid down on the train tracks and was run over by a train. He was bullied his whole life. And he told a girl a secret of his that he didn't want to share with anybody. And then she spread it through the school. And then that was it. He was gone. This is one of the last pictures I have of him. And you can see in his face, he was just so at peace. He was a good soul. This is my son, Sean. He died at 23 of an overdose. He died Easter Sunday. I was at work and I worked in a hospital. I got called down to the nursing office and I was like, I don't get in trouble. What's going on? I turned around. I saw my sister, my cousin, and two of my brothers, and I knew right away. I fell to my knees, and I was like, not again. And he was a very good person, would do anything for anybody. And he suffered with addiction, and he really tried his best to get help. And he had plans for the next day. He was going to hide the Easter eggs for all the little kids. And he didn't make it to I don't know exactly what time he died, but it was sometime during the night. So I miss them every day. And it helps me to talk about them because nobody else talks about them. And I just want all of you just to take good care of yourselves.
Kathy's first time.
This is my son, Anthony. But this is how I remember my Anthony. He was 25 here when he died from fentanyl overdose. He was a good, loving soul of a kid. He would do anything for anybody, and he had so many friends that loved him everywhere and anywhere, and he would do anything for anybody. And the biggest thing that I miss the very most out of him, Mom, I love you. And he would come up and give me the biggest hugs all the time. He was my baby. He was my second-born son. And all I kept imagining him was he was going to marry this one young lady that I adored. He was going to give me my first grandchildren because he was great with kids. And it just got to a point, and I was oblivious. I tried everything I could do because I didn't know. I didn't grow up with drugs. I didn't do drugs. I don't drink. I was oblivious to a lot of stuff. I was ignorant, but I did try everything that I thought I could try. When I first started the group, I came to the group lost, completely lost because I thought I did something wrong. I thought I failed him somehow. My handshakes, I'm sorry. But this is the baby I miss.
Thank you,
But
Kathy.
even though he's 25, he's still this.
Oh.
And the words still ring in my head, Mom, I love you. And I miss that all the time. And I talk to his pictures all the time, every day. And I'm looking for signs from him. And I've been told that he's with me. So I truly believe he's with me right now, with you. You guys ready? Can you do this?
I'm Vicki. This is my husband, Mark. We're in from Maryland. I've participated with the Beading Hearts online for probably about 5 or 6 years or more. Turns out a friend of mine is in Maryland, is Linda's cousin, and she introduced me to the group. Without the group, I would be lost. I'm thrilled to see all of you people here and want to get help. And it's really important to keep on trying and moving forward. Like we say with healing, it's one foot in front of the other. This is our son, Jason. We didn't know Jason didn't need drugs, or looking back, there was signs that maybe we should have recognized, but he lived on his own about 45 minutes from where we lived. He was 32 when he passed, and I'm sure he and his brother experimented with drugs, and everybody always thought, oh, it's never gonna be me. I'm safe, I'm fine. You just don't know these days what's in anything. He was doing heroin, cocaine, and he passed to that mixed with fentanyl. We miss him dearly. And I just hope you guys can stick with your programs and recover. It's the same as my mom's and my husband Mark with the recovery, that together we can do it. You know, and that's, these groups have been wonderful. The group in the Beading Hearts comes into Maryland like once a year, and this is the first time that Mark and I have actually made it in for a Look Up for Adam event and to speak with you. I don't know if you have anything to say, Mark. Thank you.
I'm doing it. My name is Sharon. Had a son, Sean Michael, who died 25 days before he turned 40. Sean, there's a quilt square over there. Yeah, okay, I'll show you. I'll show you which one it is. This is a tree. I planted a tree in his memory in my backyard. Sean was known as Red because he had red hair, and so the tree is a red plum tree. This is a soccer ball. He loves soccer. He almost made it to a college team. And interestingly enough, 24 was his soccer number on his shirt for all of the teams he was on. And when I was making that square, I really thought it was a great idea, but I didn't want to do it because it just hurt so much. But I had to call his dad to find out what number it was because I couldn't remember. But anyway, I think the message I want to tell you right now is Sean was really good at hiding his addiction to alcohol. Really, really good. And we didn't know for a long time. But he lost 3 jobs. He was a financial aid person in college, and he lost 3 jobs. And he was still didn't believe he still had a problem. In fact, he asked me one time, do you think I have an alcohol problem, Mom? And I said, yeah, I do. But what happened was we thought for a while it might be a seizure disorder. And the doctor finally told him it's not a seizure disorder, you have an alcohol disorder. And he actually, how he died was he fell at their home one night and he fractured his skull and they had to helicopter him up to Dallas where they lived in Texas. And they kept him alive for 6 days. But here's the hopeful part. His wife, whom we since found out also had alcohol problems, is now 1.5 years sober. I'll tell her you said that. I'll call her tonight. I will. Her name is Laura. They have 2 kids. And she said every tear she shed in recovery was worth it. And I also have a daughter who's 3 years older than Sean, and she will be 25 years sober this coming Thursday. Thank you. I'm just so glad you're here doing what you're doing. I think Sean would approve too.
Hi, everybody. My name is Terry. I'm going to start over here with our square. My husband actually did it. No? It's this one up here. And for those of you that can't see it, it says, "Save me a seat." And my daughter's name was Haley. And that's what my husband says to her when we talk to her all the time. Haley died the day after my birthday, February the 25th, 2020. And she left behind a 14-year-old daughter at the time, and of course us. She struggled from the time she was a young girl with mental health issues. As she got older, then that's what kind of got her into the drugs, because she told me when she was taking the drugs, she felt normal. And I understand that, and it's very hard to kind of work through that. And maybe there are some of you here that have the same problems. It's not easy getting clean and sober, but it can be done. It can be done. And just like all of the other mothers, you are important to somebody, to anybody, to us. You may not have family members that support you, so lean on each other. Make a bond so that you can help each other through things. And your lives will turn around and they will be better. You know, don't be ashamed. You're important people, and people do love you. If I could magically fix everybody in this room, I would do it without 1 second of thought. I look around and I see people that remind me of my daughter. And she was more than her addiction. She was very kind and considerate, and actually helped 2 of her friends get clean. But she couldn't do it herself. She just went back and back. So, you know, it is. Again, people love you. If you don't get the support from your families, look to the person sitting next to you, because you've got that in common and you can help each other, you know. And the thing is, one day at a time, okay? I love you. I pray for all of you. And I hope that if this isn't the first time you've been through rehab, this is the one that sticks. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Debbie Prue, and I'm an alcoholic. Okay. My sobriety date is December 30th of 1999. Thank you. You guys did it. I lost my dear son, Justin, and he is this little shamrock here on June 30th of 2020. And we're coming up on St. Patrick's Day, and that was his favorite holiday. He was so proud of his Irish heritage, and there's a little, like a milk bone on here for his pups. He loved animals. And his father found him in his room on June 30th, and he was living with my sister at the time. And I got the phone call, 5:30 in the evening. Justin is dead. And of course, I'm like, what the, right? And the first thing I did is I told my husband, I am not going to take a drink, right? Because I knew no matter what, taking a drink was not going to bring my son back. I then, as I was driving down 270, which is our interstate, my husband's pleading with me to pull over because he's not so crazy about my driving. But I called my sponsor, right? Because that's what we're taught to do. Pick up the phone and call somebody. Call your sponsor. And by the grace of God, who's my higher power, and the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, I didn't pick up, right? That's a miracle, right? You guys never have to pick up again. Never. You just got to do the work. And staying clean and sober is a hell of a lot easier than looking for your next drink or drug. Less time, less money. You'd be surprised how much money you can save. That was 26 years ago for me, and you know alcohol and drugs have all gone up in cost. But you guys can do this, right? You have each other. You just got to put your hand out. I stayed sober because it's important to me to stay right in the middle of this program. You know, I'm involved in a lot of service work down where I am, and giving back this gift that was so freely given to me has kept me going, right? Helping another alcoholic is my primary purpose. You know, you guys are so beautiful, and I've watched your eyes, right? I've watched your eyes, and I've watched the sadness that you've seen up here, right? That you're feeling some of this stuff is not sitting right with you. Well, it certainly doesn't sit right with us. But we found a solution, right? And our solution is to come together as a community and share our pain, you know, because this disease is a disease of fear and pain. And I didn't know how to cope with pain, right? I wasn't taught the skills of coping. I came from the Fine family. We didn't talk about anything. So I coped by drinking. I did some drugs, but that was in the back. But you guys have an opportunity today to change it, right? You can change your life and your family's life and anybody. You can break the cycle in your families. And it's not a lot of work. So I urge you to just keep in touch, get those phone numbers, pick up the 300-pound phone. Don't text, because you can't get a feeling across with the text. Pick up the phone and say, hey, you doing okay today? And if you're doing okay, call somebody else, because they might be having a bad day. You know, that one little phone call, that one little piece can save somebody's life. Because this disease that we have, addiction, it's here to take us out. Absolutely take us out. My son wrote me a poem on my 10th anniversary, and I meant to bring it but forgot. And try to paraphrase it. He said, "Mom, watching you grow in your sobriety, it's not the absence of alcohol, but the presence of your spirit looking for good." And of course, I was bawling the whole time I was reading it. But, you know, on March 7th of your daily reflection book, the little quote on the bottom says, "The power within me is greater than any fear before me." So use that power in each and every one of your lives and help each other out. And you guys will be a success because you can do it. I can't, but we can. I love you all. Thank you.
So I wasn't expecting to speak today.
Do you want me to stand with you?
No.
Okay, okay.
My name is Tara. I am a local to Long Island. And once upon a time, 40 years ago, I lived with her sister, and I knew Justin. I know, 40, we don't want to say 40.
Yeah, thank you.
25. And I lived with the sister, and I knew Justin from when he was a child. I know Debbie's story. Debbie knows mine. I have a 30-year-old son who sat in this room. And my son struggled for 11 years. As of March 2nd, my son is 1 year and 9 months sober.
Woo!
From alcohol, from crack, and from heroin. My son is now living in New Jersey, and people say, "Aren't you upset that he's living in New Jersey?" And I said, "No, because he's happily living in New Jersey." And one of the takeaways that he tells me is that when he is upset, he calls his people. And his people are not me and his father. And I can't be that for him. It's people that he's met in the rooms. He makes decisions when he bounces it off his sponsor, his grand sponsor, and he even has a great-grand sponsor, which I don't quite know what that is, but it's okay. It's okay. So take away this, hope, courage, lean on each other, and God bless you.
So I know that every time, I'll give this to Ed. I know that every time I'm in the presence of the Beating Hearts and the women from Living Through Loss, I'm changed. My soul rises. My insides become bigger and fuller, richer. This is my Adam. This is my Adam as a baby. He was always looking up. You see him? And this is my Adam as a young adult. He was always curious. His gaze was still upward. He had a curiosity about the universe, about life. And so when I got to make my square, I honored Adam by his message to always look up. Life is not always easy. We don't have to tell you that. You know that, you live that. But even in the darkest moments, in the bleakest of thoughts, there's always something to look up for. Maybe it's something you never thought of. Maybe it's something you're reaching for. Maybe it's something from inside that you want on the outside. Maybe it's somebody. Maybe it's a grand thought. Maybe it's an idea. I have a friend, and years ago she called me and she said, "I haven't gotten out of bed for 3 days. I haven't showered, I haven't eaten." I'm like, she goes, "I don't want to do this anymore." It wasn't addiction. She just was done with life. She felt done. She felt it was over. And I wasn't equipped to walk her through that, but I asked her one thing. I said, "Can you make me one promise? Could you just get up, go outside, put your arms out, and look up? Just look up." And she did. And she never went back into bed. She's here now to tell her story about it. She's living a bigger life now because she gave herself permission to look up even when she was feeling down. It's Adam's message. And so I live my life. I live my purpose. I live my meaning in his honor and his memory to look up. I believe that we are all connected. You have felt it here. We have felt it with each other here. And we get to not only do that, but we get to be that, right? We get to be that. And you know, I'm just thinking, we get to bead that. So we are the beating hearts and we make beads. And it's part of our therapy. Who knew? Who knew that something that Adam used to do would help us in such a profound way? So we have a gift for you. And for those of you who have gotten the beads before, know that there's a message on it. And we're going to ask you not to look at them because, forewarned, there's a little magic in each of these beads. The message that's in it that is going to pick you, it's going to look like you're picking it. It doesn't work that way. This is going to pick you. Allow it to pick you. And then we have a little time left. We would love to hear what the message is and what it means to you. Okay? You ready for a gift? Okay. You want to give out some gifts?
Talked to the patients earlier, and I said, look, you know, this is recovery is a team sport. And to listen to the moms talk about, you know, how their lives have been impacted, and I think sends a message that there's nobody can touch that message. It's part of a club that nobody wants to be a part of that club. And everybody here has been through, has experienced trauma. And I have the moms, I always call them the moms, because the moms have, in New York State, have done more for recovery and treatment in the last 10 plus years to make people aware of what's going on than people will ever understand. The laws have been passed because of, and the fact that on a Saturday, the beating hearts come here all the way up from Maryland, and the moms all come in and they talk to our patients and they tell them, hey, I love you, you're important. And they all need to hear that. You don't know, knowing a mother's love, what it means, and knowing that there's somebody out there that cares about them. I mean, it's the greatest thing that can happen, you know, and
So we wanted to do something where people could share what their continued bonds are with their loved one. So people kind of came up with a stamp that represented a symbol of how they stay connected with their loved one that's gone.
How does this help kind of the arts and crafts aspect of it? I mean, just memorialize or their loved ones. How important is that in their healing process?
I feel like this has been extremely important. This has made, I just actually told them what we were doing today and shared with them. And I feel like this is such a powerful thing. I mean, not only are we working with healing through art, the people that are creating it, they're also telling the story. So anyone who sees this feels the story. It helps with legacy. There's certain themes in healing with grief, and one of them is creating legacy. And so we're talking about, we're keeping these people alive, and we're being able to tell the story. We're also kind of trying to shut down stigma. It's just so powerful.